Let me tell you something. When a woman screams, "Get your black ass out of this place right now," I know you're kind and what example you set to my kids across the front lawns of Harmony Creek Estates. It's not the kind of moment you forget. That shriek cutting through the safe, sleepy neighborhood like a siren wasn't the opening act. It was the grand finale. The full unmasking of months of nastiness and hate bubbling under all that HOA polish. But if you really want to get why that moment landed so hard, you have to rewind to how it all started just a simple sunny Tuesday 3 months before when I was moving into the house I'd busted my back to finally own. I'm an architect, always building other folks' dream homes. And this place, this 3-story colonial with its big oak tree and brick facade, was supposed to be my reward for years of late nights and skipped weekends. Didn't even have the first box unpacked when she showed up power walking in black lycra platinum ponytail pulled so tight, I swear it was a facelift just radiating. "I run this street." She slowed, glared at my moving truck lips in a razor-thin line. I tried to be friendly, offered a smile. "Looks like we're neighbors." She just sized me up. Ice blue eyes flickering between me and my boxes. "Are you here to supervise the movers?" she asked, all clipped and condescending. "Movers need to be gone by 5 p.m. This is a residential street, not a loading dock." I kept my voice steady. "No, ma'am, I just bought this house. I'm the new owner." Stuck out my hand. She stared like I'd offered her a live snake. She never took it. Just said, "Oh well, I'm the head of the HOA Welcome Committee. We weren't told about a new sale." Lie. We both knew the HOA had to sign off before I got the keys. That was my welcome, a warning dressed as a greeting. I tried to keep it cool. I've read all the rules, looking forward to being a good neighbor. She just sniffed. "We'll see," and stomped off, heels clicking hard enough to crack concrete. That was my introduction to the Welcome Committee, which turned out to be code for surveillance squad, and buddy, I was their favorite target. 4 days into living there, I'm hanging pictures and setting up my drafting table, and suddenly there's this notice taped to my door. So much tape, it's like she wanted to shrink wrap my house. Violation notice, Bylaw 7, Section 4C, refuse receptacle placement. My crime? My garbage bin sat out past noon. $50 fine. I stared out the window. Half the houses on my street still had their bins out. Hers 3 doors down, curb so clean it gleamed. It was a shot across the bow, and I knew it. She wanted a reaction. I snapped pictures, my bins, everyone else's, the violation, and sent a polite email to the HOA, paid the fine, immediately attached everything. 2 days later, a single-sentence reply. "Your concern has been noted. No apology, no reversal." The message was loud and clear. The rules were for people like me, not her friends. From that moment on, my house, my supposed sanctuary, felt less like a reward and more like enemy territory. The honeymoon was over. Each week brought a new paper cut, a letter for unapproved flora, when I planted rosemary bushes, which my grandma always said kept a home safe. Didn't matter. Not on the HOA's sacred list. Had to dig them up and put them in pots on my back patio out of sight. She caught me at it. "Rules are there for a reason," she chirped, fake sweet hands on her hips. "They protect our property values." "Whose aesthetic is that?" I shot back. "The community's," she said, eyes daring me to argue. But we both knew who was really in charge. After that, it got personal. I had a few friends over for a quiet dinner jazz. So soft you could barely hear it over the crickets, and next thing I know, I get a noise violation and a $75 fine. I stopped inviting people over, started closing my blinds early, tiptoeing around my own home, feeling watched every minute. It wasn't about trash cans or rosemary. It was about my presence, about making sure I remembered whose kingdom this really was. Then came the real escalation. Another dinner with friends, a board game, just a little laughter, and the next morning 2 cops at my door. Noise complaint, they said deadpan, but I saw their eyes flick to my skin, the nice house, the implicit question. Someone had told them there was a large unruly party and smell of marijuana. Total fabrication. but they had to check it out. Just keep it down, one said, almost apologetic. That's when I realized she wasn't just weaponizing the HOA. She was weaponizing the police. It was about painting me as a threat, not just a nuisance. I found myself shrinking, living behind invisible fences, wondering if the grass was too long or if a package on my porch looked suspicious. My reputation, my peace of mind, all of it felt fragile. Neighbors started avoiding me, glancing at her house before offering a stiff wave. She'd poisoned the well, painted me as some kind of criminal. I overheard a neighbor mumble that she was spreading rumors about me, said my business was a front, that my house was bought with dirty money. No one challenged her. Easier to go along than become her next target. But I'm not built to roll over. I started documenting everything: emails, fines, the constant surveillance, installed cameras, high-def audio cloud backup. Now, when she tiptoed up to my driveway to photograph my car or inspect my garden, I got it all on tape. She didn't know. Not yet. But I was building a case not just for myself, but for the silent crowd of neighbors she'd bullied into submission. One day I found a note in my mailbox, no signature. She did the same thing to the Garcias. Don't give up. Some of us are with you. Turns out the last owners of my house, the Garcias, had been driven out. Different culture, different food, too much noise. Another neighbor handed me a list of names. 8 people she'd tormented, scared to speak up. I wasn't alone, not really. So I set a trap. I left a package on my porch, knowing she'd come snooping. Caught her on camera, rifling through it, whispering my name into her phone. Next, I baited her with a high-end trowel left near the sidewalk. Sure enough, she snatched it at 2 a.m., platinum ponytail bobbing under her hood. But I didn't hand over the footage yet. I was patient. I let her think she was winning, all the while collecting proof of her trespassing theft, her endless obsession. Meanwhile, she started to crack. Her yard got weedy, the paint on her shutters peeled. Neighbors rebelled in small ways, unapproved garden gnomes, mailboxes with the wrong color flag. One of her allies' wives even pulled me aside, voice trembling. "I'm sorry. This has gone too far. She's obsessed with you. It's all she talks about." That's when I saw it. She wasn't just mean, she was unraveling. Finally, the perfect opportunity landed: a package for me delivered by mistake to the neighbor's porch. I did nothing, just waited, and sure enough caught her swiping it on camera. That was federal mail theft. I took everything to a civil rights lawyer in the city, videos, emails, a mountain of documentation. She watched the clips and said, "We're not just going to stop her, we're going to dismantle her." The lawyer set the final playwork with law enforcement to catch her in the act of felony breaking and entering. We created bait, suspicious activity, a staged visit from a friend with a locked case, a fake trip out of town, cameras rolling the house, seemingly empty. She took the bait, used a key she'd somehow gotten to open my front door, premeditated, clear as day. Walked right in only to find 2 cops waiting for her. Her face when the officer told her to put her hands behind her back was pure disbelief, then panic, then rage. She tried to play the victim, screamed at me, screamed at the cops, screamed her real feelings for the whole neighborhood to hear. And that, as they say, was that. Arrested for breaking and entering, for theft, for harassment. The neighbors, finally freed from her spell, came together, told their stories, and voted the entire board out. Her kingdom crumbled in a matter of days. She was forced to sell her house, forbidden to return. The HOA board replaced every bogus fine and violation against me, wiped out. In the end, the settlement didn't just cover me, it went to every family she'd bullied. Her cronies, financially ruined, sold and left. Harmony Creek got its soul back, rebuilt by folks who just wanted to live and let live. You'd think I'd feel triumphant, but honestly, I just felt relief. For the first time, I could sit on my back patio, Rosemary thriving, friends laughing, windows open to the night, and breathe easy. My house was finally my home again. And Harmony Creek? Well, it's still got problems, but at least now the right kind of fight is out in the open, and the real neighbors are starting to talk to each other. Not just about each other. So tell me, what would you have done in my shoes? How far should a person have to go to defend their right to live in peace? Justice or overkill? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment, share your own neighborhood war stories, and let's talk about what real community is supposed to mean.